In the vast steppes of Central Asia, where the wind sweeps across endless grasslands and the sky stretches to infinity, a force emerged in the 13th century that would forever alter the course of human history. This is the story of the Mongol Empire, the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever known, forged by a man born into obscurity and destined to become the greatest conqueror in history. The year is 1162. In the harsh wilderness near the Onon River, a child is born to a minor chieftain of the Borjigin clan. His name is Temüjin, and he enters a world of brutal tribal warfare, where loyalty is fleeting and survival demands strength. His father, Yesujay, is poisoned by rival Tartars when the boy is only 9 years old, leaving his family vulnerable and destitute. Abandoned by their own clan, Temujin's mother, Holun, struggles to keep her children alive in the unforgiving steppe. These early years of hardship forge in young Temujin an iron will, and an understanding that power, not birthright, determines fate. As Temujin grows into manhood, he begins to build his following through a combination of strategic marriages, shrewd alliances, and decisive military action. He recognizes that the traditional Mongol way of constant tribal feuding weakens everyone, making them vulnerable to more organized enemies. His vision is different, revolutionary even. He seeks not merely to lead a clan, but to unite all the Mongol tribes under single banner. To achieve this, he allies himself with Togrul, the powerful leader of the Kerate tribe, who had once been his father's ally. With Togrul's support and his own growing reputation as a fierce warrior and capable leader, Temujin begins to consolidate power. The path to dominance is neither easy nor bloodless. Temujin faces numerous rivals, each commanding significant forces and territories. The Merkits, who had once kidnapped his wife Bert, feel his vengeance. The Tartars, who murdered his father, are systematically defeated and absorbed. His former ally and blood brother Jamukha becomes his greatest rival, representing the old ways of tribal independence against Temujin's vision of unity. The struggle between them culminates in a series of battles that test not only military might, but also the loyalty of the steppe warriors. Temujin proves superior not just in combat, but in his ability to inspire devotion and organize his forces with unprecedented efficiency. In 1206, a great assembly known as a Kurultai is convened on the banks of the Onon River. Here, the leaders of the Mongol tribes gather to acknowledge what has become undeniable. Temujin has succeeded where countless others have failed. He has united the Mongols. In a moment that echoes through the centuries, he is proclaimed Genghis Khan, the universal ruler. But this title is more than an honor, it represents a transformation. Genghis Khan immediately begins restructuring Mongol society according to a meritocratic system outlined in the Yasa, his code of laws. Traditional tribal divisions are broken down and replaced with a decimal military organization, where units of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000 are commanded based on ability rather than noble birth. Loyalty to the Khan and the empire supersedes all tribal allegiances. With the Mongol tribes unified and organized into a formidable military machine, Genghis Khan turns his attention outward. The first target is the Western Xia, a kingdom in northwestern China that controls vital trade routes. The campaign demonstrates the Mongols' evolving military sophistication. These are not mere horseback raiders. They are a disciplined army capable of siege warfare, strategic planning, and coordinated attacks across vast distances. The Western Xia submit to Mongol authority, providing tribute and opening the way for even greater conquests. The Jin Dynasty of northern China presents a far more formidable challenge. With millions of subjects, fortified cities, and a powerful army, the Jin seem invincible. Yet Genghis Khan recognizes their vulnerability. The Jin have grown complacent behind their walls, and their society is fractured by internal corruption and ethnic tensions. Beginning in 1211, the Mongols launch a series of devastating campaigns into Jin territory. Mongol horsemen, masters of mobility and the composite bow, outmaneuver the heavier Chinese cavalry. When confronted with walled cities, the Mongols adapt, recruiting Chinese engineers and employing siege weapons with deadly effectiveness. City after city falls. Zhongdu, the Jin capital, is besieged and captured, its population subjected to terrible slaughter. The brutality serves a calculated purpose, encouraging other cities to surrender without resistance. By 1215, the Jin dynasty is crippled, though it will limp on for another 2 decades before final extinction. The Mongol expansion is relentless. To the west, the Khwarazmian Empire stretches across Central Asia, controlling the lucrative Silk Road trade routes. When the Khwarazmian Shah Ala ad-Din Muhammad foolishly executes Mongol envoys in 1218, he seals his empire's fate. Genghis Khan responds with furious determination. In 1219, an army of approximately 200,000 Mongols descends upon Central Asia. The campaign that follows is a masterpiece of military coordination and psychological warfare. Mongol armies split into multiple columns, striking simultaneously at widely separated cities, creating the impression of an unstoppable force that is everywhere at once. The great cities of Bokhara, Samarkand, and Urgench are besieged, captured, and often destroyed. The Shah flees, hunted relentlessly by Mongol generals Jib and Subutai, dying exhausted and broken on an island in the Caspian Sea. His son attempts to continue resistance, but by 1221, the Khwarazmian Empire has effectively ceased to exist. What makes the Mongol conquest so devastating and so successful? The answer lies in a combination of factors that together create an almost unstoppable force. The Mongols are born horsemen, practically living in the saddle from childhood. Their composite bows, capable of penetrating armor at significant distances, give them tremendous firepower that can be delivered at speed. Their organization is superb. Communication through messenger systems allows coordination across vast distances, while intelligence gathering through spies and scouts ensures they are never fighting blind. Discipline is absolute, with desertion or disobedience punished by death. Yet Genghis Khan is also pragmatic. He welcomes talent from conquered peoples, incorporating engineers, administrators, and artisans into his empire. Religious tolerance is official policy, preventing rebellions based on faith. Perhaps most importantly, the Mongols master psychological warfare. The promise is simple: surrender and live under Mongol protection with your local customs intact, or resist and face total annihilation. The terror of Mongol retribution becomes a weapon as effective as any arrow. As Genghis Khan's empire expands, it transforms from a confederation of nomadic tribes into a sophisticated state spanning from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. Trade flourishes under the Pax Mongolica, the Mongol peace, as merchants can travel safely across the empire with written protection from the Khan. Ideas, technologies, and goods flow along the revitalized Silk Road. The postal system, or YAM, allows messages to traverse the empire with unprecedented speed. Yet this golden age is built on a foundation of conquest and submission. Millions have died in the Mongol campaigns, entire cities have been erased from existence, and countless cultures have been subjugated. In 1227, while campaigning against the stubborn Western Xia, Genghis Khan dies, likely from injuries sustained in a fall from his horse. He is approximately 65 years old. According to Mongol custom, his burial location is kept secret, protected by those who would take its location to their grave. But his legacy is anything but hidden. He has transformed the Mongols from fragmented tribes into the rulers of the greatest empire on earth. His sons and grandsons will continue the expansion. Urgide will complete the conquest of the Jin and push into Europe. Mengke will expand into the Middle East, and Kublai will establish the Yuan dynasty in China. By the time of its greatest extent in the late 13th century, the Mongol Empire will encompass nearly 24 million square kilometers and over 100 million people, approximately a quarter of the world's population at that time. The rise of the Mongol Empire stands as one of history's most remarkable transformations, a testament to the power of visionary leadership, military innovation, and ruthless determination. From the banks of the Onon River to the walls of Beijing, from the deserts of Persia to the plains of Hungary, the thundering hooves of Mongol cavalry announced a new age. The world would never be the same, connected in ways previously unimaginable, united under the law of the steppe and the will of the great Khan. In the vast expanse between sky and earth, an empire had risen that would shape the destinies of nations and the course of civilizations for centuries to come.